deriving the
I'm
sonority?
not sure what you mean.
Well, root, fifth, third, and all that. Do you think that, or are you just thinking the sonorities you want deriving?
No, I don't think, like, I just think about what I want to hear.
On your website, some of your discography, you say, I guess, kind of look out for, don't buy. One of those was,
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
you're just for curious, or just for the curious book, or instructional stuff. How did you feel about that?
Well, that one was just because I never wanted to do a video in the first place, because I really don't like, I'm really uncomfortable in these kind of situations, so like when we did the video, I didn't want to do it, and then he just offered me more money, so. But then when he was done, when I watched it, I was going, man, I don't even understand anything that's going on here. So I said I need to put like a little book with it that just sort of clarifies a few things. So that was what that was about. It was just a clarification for the stuff that I thought that didn't go right on the video.
What gauge strings are you playing?
Eights. I use nines on a normal guitar with a headstone, but for some reason they feel tight. Well, for that gauge.
You have to be conscious of lightening up on your right hand because they're lighter. I
No, I've always played that way. Usually when other people play my guitar, they push it out of tune.
Right.
But no, I've always been doing this.
Same. They're 8s. Well, those are 9s. But he always plays those. Wow.
Danny, do you think you, guitarist, should be practicing to get to the level you're in? 24.
I don't know, as much as you want to. It's like Gustav Holst said something which is really funny. He said, never compose anything unless the not composing of it becomes an absolute nuisance to you. So if you really feel like you really want to do that, then just do it. Sometimes I feel like I want to do that, and sometimes I feel like I don't.
Thank you.
So, sure.
What else do you do when you don't? Do you play golf or rugby or?
No, I go to the golf club here. Just hang out. I don't golf.
What else do you do?
I used to, I'm trying to get back into it. I used to ride a lot, cycling. I was really into cycling. That was my big hobby up until about 4 years ago. Then I kind of let it slip. Cycling is great. Road bikes.
What experience have you been that had the biggest impact on you as an artist?
Getting a divorce. Oh, stuff like that. Stuff like that. No, everybody, everything. It's all fine. It just comes and you just kind of figure out how you can deal with it.
Did you ever find times in your life where you felt like your passion for your music and your art caused great conflict in your personal life?
No, it's usually the other way around.
Maybe that answers the question.
Did you ever have a chance to talk with the late Sean Lane about guitar playing?
We never talked about guitar playing. I mean, I knew him. I didn't know him very well, but I crossed paths with him a number of times. Fantastic guy. No, we never talked about music. He was really into all kinds of different kinds of music, and he would give me things like cassettes and all this kind of funny stuff. But we never talked about music. I think he liked Belgian beers. This is a beer seminar. Sorry.
I should have brought him.
Alan, is
Do you guys
rumor
take
that
any requests for today?
Well, only if we can remember it. No, actually, I need the other guitar for that one because I use the virtual guitar.
Oh, do you really?
Sorry. No, that's a syntax tune. I can't do that.
Hazard Profile from the Soft Machine album, 75.
The question is, from me, for those of us who are really stuck in L7, corny stuff that if you make the mistake of going to someone to get you to where you're going, of course they don't. They get us to this vocabulary that's been played to death. And I'm wondering, for somebody like myself, stuck in that vocabulary, some suggestions or things that you've maybe shown someone that maybe helped them a little bit, like really, really simple, pivotal things that you picked up a long time ago, you know, back in for you, the 60s, that really changed. Like, for instance, you seem to float above the neck. I was talking to this guy here, and you know, a lot of guys are very, they pivot a lot, like John McLaughlin. He plays in a position and he pivots, and then you'll see a finger kind of sticks in that position and he moves slightly, whereas you just float. So, I mean, beyond the obvious, yeah, just try to let go of that. Do you have any exercises or simple licks, if you will, or?
Actually, this is really funny. This happened before that. No.
No. You didn't ask me that. You didn't ask me any of that.
No, I don't think about it. It's just, I don't know.
So,
I actually don't know. I
emotion?
wish I did, but I
It's gotta be
don't.
emotion.
No, we're glad you don't. We're glad you
I don't know.
Way of warming up.
No. Oh yeah, I love to stick my
Pure
hands in
emotion.
really
It's gotta
hot
be.
water.
Pure emotion. Oh, it's amazing how we think.
Some of the IOU tunes, some vocal tunes we arrange.
I run out of emotion.
Yeah.
Recording those arrangements live or?
I think we did on an album called Then from 1990. It kind of came out. I never wanted to release it, that's why I signed it for 10 years, but because I ran out of money, so then you put it out. And there's so many bootlegs out there anyway, I thought, oh well, we'll just give it one more, it's a legal one anyway.
You know, reading, like, you read some of these old reviews, and it's just ridiculous. Anyone who was groundbreaking, like, you read an old review when Charlie Parker just came out of John Coltrane, and it's ridiculous the bad review they got, because they just didn't get what they were doing. So if someone does likewise to you, what's your feeling? This could get you in trouble, but I'm just wondering what your feeling is to critics like that. Just
Critics?
Because they don't, just because they don't understand what they're doing.
It's like, what's that guy, Mel Brooks, he said, crickets can't even make music by rubbing their back legs together.
They don't understand. They just say,
No, I mean, you know, we're all critics of something.
Alan, who do you like better, Nico Stefano or Bill Connors?
Sorry?
I said, who do you like better, Nico Stefano or Bill Connors?
The guy that I don't know, who's the other guy?
Nico, they both have sounds that have been described as
I don't know.
very similar to yours.
I like Bill Connors when he sounded like Bill Connors.
Alan, can
Sorry.
you talk for a couple of minutes about some of your inventions?
Sure, if I can still stand up. Yeah. Oh, that's all right. If I sit down, I'll never get up. Which invention?
Didn't you do something related to beer?
Yeah, I did. Well, growing up in the north of England, I used to like to drink, you know, the cask-conditioned beer. And when I first came to California, it was like I'd arrived in a beer desert. So there was only like Bud, Coors, Miller. It's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? You know. So then the microbreweries came out, like a few of them. I worked at a brewery when I was young, and I had some those traditional beer engines, and I brought them back with me. And I go, how am I going to get these to work with carbonated beer? And I couldn't figure it out. And then eventually, we started getting buddies would come over, and we'd take like a big container, take all these bottles of like Sierra Nevada or whatever the microbrewers, they, you know, pour them into a big bucket, then vacuum draw them. Because when you vacuum draw them, what happens is, anybody who's familiar with beer like Guinness or Boddington's or those kind of beers, it's nitrogenated, so there's only one volume of CO2 in there, and they push it with a mixed gas, so when the beer cascades, like it fogs and the head is really tight. So if you put CO2 in the beer, it blows the head away, so it's bubbly. So those beers taste really creamy. So, but that all came from the traditional hand pump. So when you draw beer through a beer engine, it draws air out of the atmosphere, which is mostly nitrogen anyway, and you get the same result. Then eventually I came up with this little invention that you put carbonated beer in, and it depressurizes it and decarbonates it, and then you draw it out with a vacuum pump, and I got a couple of them in a brewery in San Marcos in California, if you want to go for a beer. It works pretty good.
What about New York?
The mother of invention.
Are you guys gonna play anymore?
Please. One more.
If it wouldn't be too painful, could you like for a minute just play like the cycle of Tibbs in your own, you know, just we have 2 minutes.
Yeah, so. Cycle of fifth.
Allan, I would like to ask you, I read like one of your interviews in the Guitar Bear issue of last year, but it happened like 1980 something, that you were saying that you like the SG shape a lot, but somehow you found that the Fender is something, gets some feeling that you couldn't find in the Gibson SG. Is it true or is it just like...
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Like you said that the SG, the Gibson, like the shape of the guitar, you like a lot, but somehow you found that the Fender shape is giving you some kind of feeling which you couldn't find in a Gibson. Was it true or just kind of interview what you put about your
Well, I really like the combination of like Fender style guitars with Gibson pickups and a wide neck, because the Fenders are like real narrow neck. They have a wide string spacing, and then the neck is really narrow and the strings fly off the edge on both sides. The camber on the fingerboard is like half a baseball bat. And I just like the Gibson thing, that it was flat and wider, but I like the scale length of the Fender.
There was a thing like about the feeling, you were saying like a feeling about the sound. It's like kind of that you can't find in a Gibson sort of, you were saying about the
No,
feeling
if
and sound.
you, they're like a Strat style guitar definitely has more, if you just play it like without plugging it in or anything, it just definitely has more, you know, the long scale length, the tremolo, the whole thing. It's just a brighter.
And about the
I
amp,
like it.
which will be your favorite amp like recently or whatever?
I haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's discontinued. I don't know.
Tokyo Dream.
Nah.
I'll do letters. Then you can play.
Letters?
Yeah. Oh, come on.